Welcome, YouTube! This is my first video. We're going to talk about the state of the game in Big Gold 2025. I wanted to try to do something new. I've been streaming, I've been posting shorts, and why not have medium content at the same time? So a little video here and there won't hurt. And also we'll be able to talk about some serious to non-serious stuff that basically the game is going through right now. And I'm probably gonna have chat chime in here and there if they have any options or any opinions about certain things. This again will be only my opinions based on what I've played, because I have played killer main before. I've been a killer main for like 2x years playing this game. Then I started this year, I would say, or a year and a half. Yeah, about a year and a half, that I started switching a little bit over to Survivor and playing a little bit of Survivor with friends, out solo and stuff like that. And I've been realizing that we were not seeing the game in a whole. Because as a killer main, you see what is going on based on the killers themselves. But you don't see what survivors have to go through every damn game, or almost every game, with perks and with the state of the game and just in general toxicity here and there. Is it always like that? It's not always toxic. You get some nice killers, you get some nice survivors. It's on both sides at that point. But we are going to talk about a few things today, and hopefully you guys will enjoy this part of the stream slash video. So if you like this kind of content, you like it, subscribe, and post any comments, questions you have about whatever we're going to talk today, or
a moment like this since I had my wisdom teeth pulled,
or whatever you're going to you need to, whatever you have questions for me, just send it my way in the comment section. So the the subject at hand is what grinds my gears in Big Ol' 2025. At the first two things we're going to talk about today is Franklin's and Lightborn, the two perks that, for me personally, my personal opinion, they are the crutch perks of DBD. By crutch perks, I mean for three types of people. For new people, for people that have skill issues, and also people that just want to be toxic. There's a lot of this going around, and for me personally, these two perks is more used for toxicity than anything else. But I do understand for new players that only have these perks and they are not as good as a vet that actually knows how to play this game. But let's start with the beginning. For new people, there are better perks in game that will do more for you and also not piss the fucking everyone off. These perks, yes, they might look good in the beginning, but the only thing it does is it keeps you from having perks that, one, gets the gens down. So the the subject at hand is what grinds my gears in Big Ol' 2025. At the first two things we're going to talk about today is Franklin's and Lightborn, the two perks that, for me personally, my personal opinion, they are the crutch perks of DBD. By crutch perks, I mean for three types of people. For new people, for people that have skill issues, and also people that just want to be toxic. There's a lot of this going around, and for me personally, these two perks is more used for toxicity than anything else. But I do understand for new players that only have these perks and they are not as good as a vet that actually knows how to play this game. But let's start with the beginning. for new people, there are better perks in game that will do more for you and also not piss the fucking everyone off. These perks, yes, they might look good in the beginning, but the only thing it does is it keeps you from having perks that, one, gets the gens down or degenerates the gen for you. So it, let's say ruin is another perk that brings down gens, so it's not as fast. Yes, if they find the totem, they will remove that perk, but there are still a lot of perks that need to be used more than perks that remove items or let you not basically use items at all. So for new people, I would love for you to ask me things like, what perks should I use in the state of that general, what perks should I use for that general, what perks should I use for that general use of replacing Franklin's and Lightborn? For me, Lightborn is a perk that you use to not get blinded, which is fine, but the problem is, when do you have that much issues not looking at the light? Like, really? I've played my fair share of killer, and I just can't fathom using Franklin's or Lightborn. I've never used these perks. Just listen to your environment. There's always some way of knowing there's someone beside you or someone close to you. There's always a way to find, to make sure that if there's a pallet and they're underneath, there's two things that's gonna happen. Three things, actually. The first one, you're going to get hit by that pallet. There's a high probability of that. But that's if somebody's around. The other option is you get blinded. But at that point, you shouldn't be looking directly in the wide open. As soon as you have a wall that you can look at the wall. Pick them up looking at the wall, so you don't get caught. And by all means, based on the flashlights themselves, you can have flashlights that have a wider beam that can catch angles that you don't expect. So always expect the unexpected based on angles of what survivors can get. Not every survivor will use the best items for their flashlights, so the chances of getting caught with a weird ass angle to get flashed is pretty low. I'd say maybe like 15 to 20%. The rest is mostly if you get caught with your face wide open, you're gonna get caught by a flashlight. I know, I've done that multiple times, catching killers not expecting me to be there, and I flash them and I get the survivor off their shoulders. So, want to know which perk that could replace Lightborn? Quite easy. Anything basically is better than Lightborn in my mind. Starstruck. Starstruck is a good perk that scares the living daylights out of survivors, because as you pick one up, anyone around you at a certain number of meters, I don't have the exact numbers, I can actually grab them real quick. Let's grab the actual number of what that perk actually does. Starstruck. Whoop, I didn't want to actually replace that, but it doesn't matter. When carrying a survivor, any other survivor within your terror radius suffer from exposed status effect. The bigger the terror radius your killer has, the better this will be. So it basically makes them exposed, which is making them one shot, and making a survivor think, oh shit, I'm gonna go down instantly. That can be very stressful. So they might not want to try to save someone at that point, especially if they're randoms. So I would think that would be a good perk to do. Yes, there are other perks that make you pick up faster, or that gives you boosts as gens progress. So if they completed 1, 2, 3, 4 gens, there's Fired Up from Freddy that also give you boosts of picking up damaging gens, breaking pallets, stuff like that. And I feel like as a new player, you're going to get hit a lot by pallets, or you're going to have a lot of trouble looping, or getting looped, or not getting looped, or finishing the loop. So at that point, you need perks that will help you do those things. And Lightborn, yeah, it'll save you from being flashed, but that's about it. At that point, they'll know you have Lightborn, they're not going to try to flash you, and they're just going to focus on looping you constantly. And that's going to be a pain in the ass for any new any new killers out there, any new people trying to play killer or trying to be a killer main or whatnot at that point. Franklin's is a perk that when the killer hits the survivor, they drop their item. There's another perk that does that, but it doesn't drain the power of the item, but Franklin's does. And I feel like that Lightborn and Franklin's are two of the most annoyingly and toxic perks in the game. And the reason why I say toxic as well is survivors don't have a lot of defense outside of perks versus killers, right? There's no real way for survivors to defend themselves except with flashlights and toolbox, and these perks literally nullify the entirety of that kit. Do we have anything that nullifies their kit? They might not have items, but we can't stop their add-ons, right? Increase movement speed after a blink, but before the following fatigue by 30%, and sounds of pain are 50% louder. These are add-ons. What is the difference between these add-ons and the add-ons from the survivors? This boosts whatever killer you have based on their skills, their powers or skill sets. The survivors is a toolbox and a... Give me a second. So toolbox, light, flashlight, and medkit. Medkit is only to heal. That's it. You can't do anything to a killer with that. Flashlights keep killers from grabbing, putting on their shoulders, and putting on the hooks. And it's distracting. So sometimes you got that flashlight in your face, and it keeps you from getting to the hook fast enough. And somebody can sabo it at the same time. But look what I just said. You have to flashlight them and sabo to keep them from hooking one person. We're gonna talk about that kind of that issue later on. But there should not be a fact that we have nothing to cancel their shit, but they have perks, literal perks that deny everything that's based off of items that we use for defending ourselves. Is it a 4v1? Yes. But if you're not a Swift team and you're not a team that knows perks perfectly fine, that has synergy between them, just like, let's say I'm a very good flashlight user and the other person has there's a perk that lets you go in a locker for 12 seconds with a dead item and come out fully loaded, full flashlight loaded with battery. But in solos, there's no damn way that's gonna happen. You need at least a 3-man team just to get that going, because if somebody uses that, that's one defensive perk that they can't use now because they're using that to help you get your light back full power. Me never using these perks except for Chaos Shuffle and or random perks events are usually the only time I use these kinds of perks. And I'm not planning on using them anytime soon. I'm not going to have my play tarnished by these perks. Do I use aura perks? Yes. That's another thing we're going to talk later about, by the way. Aura perks. Alright. So do I get blinded? Yes. That's part of the game. If I can't look at somewhere that gives me the best chance to not get blinded, or I make sure I hear someone, or just do a quick turnaround to see if there's anyone around, then grab them. Anything, just you
Whatever
can
we do,
literally be
separating isn't the best idea.
Yes, Sable. That is not a good idea. There is so many things you can use and so many things you can do to keep yourself from being caught by a flashlight. I've played Survivor a lot lately, like a lot. And so many times that I see killers just look at a wall. Why not? Just look at the damn wall. No one's going to be able to flashlight you. Even if you turn around, look up, look down, look sideways, look away. It's ridiculous to have these kinds of perks that nullify. It doesn't slow down. They nullify the use of the two items that survivors can use to defend themselves or defend their teammates or whatever, right? Toxicity is another thing that I wanted to talk about for these two. Killers see that everyone has an item, like flashlights or toolboxes, so they take Franklins to counter. So the only real defense for survivors as are rendered completely useless. That's what I was saying. So technically, it is a toxic perk to bring something that literally stops survivors from doing anything. That's based on saving. Just like this event. This event? What can't you do in this event? Does anyone in chat know what can't we do in this event that we can usually do with these two items? Can you still flashlight save in this event? Yeah. You have time to. 100%. Can you break a hook? Oh, you can break a hook. But he can literally hook you from anywhere. The masquerade event nullifies the use of a toolbox. You cannot use a toolbox, or there's no point of using a toolbox except for gens. And tell me who the fuck uses toolboxes to do the gens unless they're specifically doing that. Most of the time it's to defend themselves over gens, because gens, you have two people on, is faster than you with a toolbox, which usually the toolbox, 8 seconds, it's gone. And then you have a dead fucking toolbox that you can't even sabo with anymore, right? You need energy to sabo or do the repairs of the gen. If you use it for the gen, you can't sabo. In an event like this, like Masquerade, doesn't really matter. You can't sabo anyways. You can flashlight, but they'll just bring fucking Franklins or Lightborn, and you can't do that either. So what do you have to defend yourself? I don't know. If you bring a gen build and you're solo, that means you have nothing except pallets and loops to save you. That's it. There's nothing else that can save you at that point. You don't have perks to save yourself. That's how you feel after realizing, oh shit, he's got Franklin's. To continue, same things goes for Lightborns and flashlights. These more experienced killers, I'm not talking about the new people, just the experienced killers should not need to use Lightborn or Franklin's. They shouldn't. There's no reason for you to use that except if you're wanting to be toxic. Or if you throw a sensu bean. There's no point of using these two perks if you're a skilled killer. The only way you wanted to use that is if you're very scared of flashlights and toolboxes. And I'm sorry, but I never use these perks. I have seen a swift team with flashlights. Do I get flashlight once or twice? Yeah. But that doesn't mean that it fucks up the game. I still finish with 3 or 4K. It's like at that point, if I'm gonna finish like that with 4 flashlights, a swift team, and I still knock the fuck out of them, what do you want me? How is this fair to survivors if I can kill them even with that kind of defense on their side? Thank you for your look. Appreciate you. So that kind of show is like really like it really grinds my gears a lot because of the fact that as a killer main or a past killer main, and then switch to survivor, I now see how easy it is to be a killer, even bringing bare minimum of like a few, maybe 1 or 2 aura perks, a gen regressing perk, and the perk that blocks pallets when you get a basic hit or base hit. It's stuff like that is good enough. You don't need Lightborn, you don't need Franklin's. You have your opinion? Tell me in the comments. Tell me in the comments what your opinion is. Okay, that's because they purposely making the killers overpowered. That's the side they make the most money from. Probably. Again, that's the thing. They can make a killer look so goddamn good compared to a survivor. So it's easier for them to make money with collabs, right? When the collabs like the tentacle butt. This guy is from an anime, and they're trying to bring in new people that like anime or that like Springtrap, which is Five Nights at fucking Freddy's, right? It's like they're trying to get that, and they don't have licensed killers, exactly. But they don't have anything to save the survivor part because it's like, I can make her look fucking great. That's fine. You know what would probably save them? Big tits. Make them hot. They do that in fucking gacha games. They do that everywhere. Make them fucking Goonerfest survivors. I swear to God, people are gonna do it. Make handsome guys if you want to as well. They already did with fucking Vittorio. Fucking chestless, built the fucking nice comb hair and shit like that. Sable, hot as fucking balls. It's like they know how to do this. They can make it even better, and they would probably make money off survivors as well. But that's another subject for another day. Yeah. New Jake skin with a crop top? Chef's kiss. Exactly. Gooners will goon over good-looking characters. So, having survivors look great, you will make money off your survivors as much as your top-notch like looking killers. To be honest, that is my personal opinion. I've played gacha games, I've played anime games and stuff like that, and big old titties usually works. Big fucking 6-pack or whatever works a lot as well. Not for me personally, but you know, you never know at that point. Alright, official goon, yes. So, survivor mistakes. I've talked to one of my good friends, mods community, about this, and a few other people. Survivor mistakes. This makes killers look so much more toxic, but truly survivors need to be better at decision making, realizing that a 2 and 2, which is 2k and 2 survive, is better than a full 4k given to the fucking killer. Am I wrong? No, I'm not. If you think I'm wrong, if I hurt your feelings, that don't mean I'm wrong. You cannot take the decision of, oh my god, my friend is on hook. I'll take myself and one of my friends to try to get him off the hook. He already has 1 kill. The other one's second hook. That means for you to be able to unhook safely, one, you gotta be lucky or have the perks for it, by the way. But you have to unhook. You have to open the damn door, reach the door, open the door, and get the fuck out. But within that time frame, depending on the killer you're facing, like Springtrap can literally throw a hatchet in your back, down you, and still keep running and hit you with the, so he can literally hit you twice within a very short span of time. So you think he can't get you down within that time frame of opening the door, getting to the door, opening the door, and then leaving? No, you do not have the time. I literally played a game today with Ma, and she and I had the same scenario, and I was on hook, and there was 2 survivors remaining. One was already dead, and I told her, get the fuck out. Get out. Open the door and get out. There's no point. If you try to get me, you're gonna get hit before unhooking me, then he's just gonna hit you again and get you knocked out. And I don't have perks to get you off unless he's gonna literally slug at that point. I'm gonna get off. If I stay around, I'm gonna get slugged. He's gonna wait for my timer, my safety timer after being unhooked. It's, I think, 30 seconds. Please tell me if I'm wrong on that one. I think it's like 30 seconds, maybe even less than that, 20 to 30 seconds of safety when you get unhooked. They're just gonna wait. They're just gonna wait and knock you out. But any ranged attacker like Huntress or Springtrap, or even the clown is Bottles, if you try this with these killers, you will die. You will give him what he wants. And is it toxic to camp a survivor on the hook? Well, if he has no other choice but to stay close to that one, I personally never do that. As a killer, I don't do that, but I could, and I understand the reasoning for it. Not everyone is a skilled killer. If they don't get this, they might not get 1 pip. They won't get leveled up, stuff like that. There's multiple reasons for people to do that, not always toxic. But it is the responsibility of the team to decide if it's proper or if it's a good decision to try to get someone off a hook and leave. That's my opinion. New camping and tunneling mechanics? Question mark. Apparently they're working on it or already have something for survivors to help with the camping and tunneling issues. So the camping is, they tried to do something with the camping with the bar that raises as he stays around. But right now you can't unalive yourself on hook anymore unless you have a luck item. So the advantage of that is that you can literally keep yourself from dying the entirety of the time he's camping. But at that point, within a few minutes, you have 1 gen done. You have 2 gens done. Don't mind the person on the hook. I would tell my teammates, go do the gens. He's face camping me. Doesn't matter. You guys are easily gonna get this shit out. And maybe I'll be able to jump off and then maybe get a protection hit. Maybe not. Maybe he's gonna hit me instantly. Maybe I can loop. I am actually doing very good at looping. But I feel like they need to tweak the camping mechanism just a little, like a lot, to make it that this shit doesn't happen, or they have a bigger penalty. The penalty of them camping right now is us jumping off the hook, which they just tunnel again and kill us anyways. You know, kind of weird that it's not a big consequence. Look at the consequence for survivors. If you're not doing a gen, if you're not looping a killer, if you're just walking around because you're looking for a totem, or which is important, especially when you have ruin or any perks that like Noed or Blood Warden, I should say. These need to destroy the totems, but you have to find them. But when you are trying to find these damn things, you get crows. I think they modified it a little bit so it didn't do that, but it was a big issue that literally the timer continued, and if you didn't jump on a gen fast enough and do the gen or do anything that's based on the game itself, you would get a crow. And I was like, okay, didn't do anything. I was AFK for like 15 seconds. Go to a gen, start doing the gen. Within 2 seconds, I had a crow in my head appear. I'm like, I'm doing the gen. How is this a thing? It shouldn't be a thing that I'm starting something and I still get the timer of the crow to pop a crow. That was the dumbest damn thing. I'm glad they reverted it. And yes, I might sound a little bit biased, but when you have killers, still think that they are not as overpowered as they are. Can literally start a game and I'll win. I'll just win. The only time I've 2K'd or not and get creamed, like literally creamed, like cream corn, is when I use a killer I don't use usually. Especially my hardcore killer challenge, that I'm using killers that I never used before or barely used. Or they are a swift team that have perks that meld well together and they are harder. That doesn't mean they're unbeatable, it just makes it harder for me to actually beat them. So at that point, it is on me to be better. But there's so many things I could, as a Huntress main, my aura build can literally beat all teams. That's another subject I'm talking in a few minutes. For some people that might not know, tunneling is one of the most cringiest goddamn thing you can do in this game. Because it is very easy to do. They get unhooked, you wait for 30 seconds, the timer runs out, you hit them again. They're down, you put them back on hook. It's literally tunneling. Is it hard to not tunnel? No, not at all. Just don't go back to hook instantly. Or let's say you go a full round of the map and you come back and then they get unhooked. At that point, just go for the other person, the one that unhooked. You can slap the other one, like, just to get him away. You slap him, he's gonna be having to mend, and then you go after the other person, but at least you're not purposely tunneling the survivor to piss him off or to just be a toxic fucking douchebag. Personally speaking, I wouldn't want to be part of that situation either. I've been against that. As a killer, playing survivor, facing that kind of shit, I'm like, yeah, what's your point? You're just making it that the game's so bad and that people don't want to play this fucking game no more. It's really that bad at this point. There's so many people that they're looking for another game to replace this game, but there's nothing out there that hits the same. Because there's so many randomness in killers you meet. Except when the new killer comes out, holy tits. Springtrap came out, it was only that. Only that. So yeah, tunneling, there's not a lot you can do. They're finding apparently they found a new way to get a new tunneling mechanic. So I don't know how they're gonna do it. I don't personally have an idea of how you can stop that. So I have no clue. But it is coming apparently in the next patch or so. So I can't wait for that. And the last one is slugging. Slugging is not as bad as the other two issues. That's true. Tunneling and camping are a hell of a lot worse than slugging. Like, extremely different. Slugging, if all your teammates jump at you, the killer, to try to save one guy, and they put all three of them down, plus they still can put one of them down, or they all stay around and I can throw hatchets at all of them and down them down, I'll do that. That's again the decision of the survivor to do that, to be around and stay around. It is up to the survivor to decide if it's worth sacrificing yourself for this hook. That's why I'm not a good. I don't like the swapping of hooks. So one's on hook, you unhook, and you get hooked right after. That's basically two hooks, and there's no gens done yet. And we're back. With the state of the game and how stupid close the hooks are, that's one thing, the hooks. The hooks, they've changed it, modified it. It's dumb. It is moronic. There's so many words to invalidate the decision they took for hooks. There's multiple reasons why hooks are completely out of, like, it does not make sense for multiple reasons. The hooks, one, are extremely close to each other now. I could literally have sometimes 3 hooks within 25 feet. Give or take. In the game, it's hard to know how many feet there is, but it's about 25 feet per hook. So, in the comments below, do you think saboing makes sense in big 2025 of this game? For me personally, I still think it is good for the game to have sabos. The problem, the other issue is, even if you sabo, the hook respawn times for saboing, and even what they added now is they added that the hook returns after a certain amount of time after killing someone on the hook. Which, that's stupid. They had so much trouble. Apparently killers had so much trouble with dead zones that they had to make the hooks respawn. Personally speaking, as a killer main, I had never had that problem. It is not the survivor's fault or the game's fault if this killer cannot, if somebody gets caught in one corner. Okay, you're caught in one corner. Why did you kill someone? Why did you kill someone there? I don't understand why they did 2 changes at the same time. They made the hooks closer, and they made the hooks respawn super quickly after death and sabos. And that's saboing with the perks or the add-ons that makes the hook come back even later. It's ridiculous how fast they come back. And it's like, I literally I hooked someone, they died on it, then I turned back, chased the guy, downed him, and still the hook came back. Literally by the time I got back to hook. That was ridiculous. It's way too short. Personally speaking, it should be at least 5 minutes. I would say 5 minutes is a good number. Yeah, eventually it'll come back, but not that quick. 5 minutes is not that bad. And again, killers just have to be better managing where they hook people. Just hook them somewhere else. If you know this is a dead zone, and if you hook someone there, it becomes a dead zone, why are you hooking someone there in the beginning? If they're hooking once, twice, not bad. If you're going to death hook, do not hook someone on that hook. It's easy. I never had any issues with that. Maybe it happened once, but at that point, just leave them on the ground. That easy. Leave them on the fucking ground, and they're just gonna bleed to death. They wanted to be in the dead zone, they're gonna bleed to death. That's my point of view on that. So I feel like they could revert one or the other. Make the hooks take longer to come back, or have less. Okay, that's another issue. They didn't make more hooks. They made the maps smaller, but they condensed the map, but they didn't remove any hooks. There's as many hooks as there was when there was a bigger map to compensate for how far they had to go for hook to hook. But now they did squished everything together, so now the hooks are super close to each other. And I got a friend that calculated how many times you have to wiggle or get a skill check to actually get off a shoulder of a killer. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, she said 21 times. 21 times to wiggle. And that's not super. By the way, having the middle parts where it makes you wiggle more does not make you wiggle off faster. So you're waiting to get to that point in the middle wastes more time. just go for the fastest ding, 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 as fast as possible. The only time it is valid to ding the bigger skill check or the great skill checks are for points, if you really need them. I really doubt it gives you that many points though. 2, if you have boil over. Boil over will make the bitch it will make that killer wobble, wibble, wobble everywhere, so it's a lot harder for them to control. But there's a time and place for everything, right? Because I've learned that sometimes if you do great skill check, normal skill check, great skill check, in their minds they're going to already sway on one and expecting you to do it again. So then you go the other way and then they hit the wall and it makes them slow down. That's tactics as a survivor to how to control the killer's sway. I've seen people do this, the killer's doing that because he knew exactly how it was like moving. The movement of the wiggle is easily controllable as a killer if you know how they are going to do it. If you always keep it weird, 1 2 1 1 2 1 1 2 3 1, you always have it differently, it'll give you the best chance to survive and the best chance of getting off. But you have to plan this shit out as you're going, which is not always easy. Sometimes you wiggle hard on one end, it hits them on the side of the post of the hook, and you jump off. You can be lucky like that. Or you do it on the wrong side, it wiggles them in front of the hook, and they hook you faster. That's, again, a way of playing the game that you have to figure out. You have to figure out how that shit works, and you have to figure out when to do a great skill check versus a quick and easy skill check, which is just make it go 21 times, you're off. The problem with that is 21 times. And it's not 1 second, it's about 1.5 to 1.7 seconds between ding, 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 ding. I doubt it's 1 second. I think it's between 1.2 to 1.7 seconds to do a normal skill check. The worst I've seen was 2 sabos and 1 to 2 protection hits. And then the person came off. And that's with, they're in the midpoint, sabo, take a hit, go, sabo, take another hit, then they're off. And that's if they get hit on the first one as well. So that's 1 to 2 hits and 2 sabos. If there's only 1 sabo, how many hits do you think? If there's only 1 sabo, you can literally down a person completely. And another person, hit another person, that's 4 hits before the person even gets off. And that's, I think it might be even 5 at that point. 5 hits to get someone off the shoulder. That's ridiculous. That's so much. I can never jump off because there's a hook everywhere. There's a literally hook everywhere. Even if you bring petrified oak, which calms entity and slightly increases the distance between sacrificial hooks appearing in the world. You would have to bring 4 of these, and I don't even know if these stack, but you would have to bring this to be able to split these hooks far enough to have a good chance of surviving off a killer after 1 sabo or after maybe 2 hits. But again, it's pretty rare. And also, it's 2 hits, but it's, you have to get hit before the hook, way before the hook, and then after that you have to get hit at the hook. And that's the same person. Or you have 2 people different, one that covers the hook, and then when they get hit, they have to go in the location of the other guy, because the first initial hit, they basically zone out. You're not physically there anymore, technically, so they can still hook the survivor. So you have to have a second person that takes that space, he hits them, then they're off. It's so hard to do that without sacrificing hooks from other people or sacrificing lots of hits. Like lots of hits. It's ridiculous. It's too much. And there's literally 2 perks, mind-boggling by the way, 2 perks that make this completely idiotic. I don't know if you guys know. So, comment at bottom which 2 perks you think I'm gonna say. If you know, you know. If you don't know, I'll let you know in 2 seconds. I feel like the game is becoming more and more killer-sided. That's true, and they don't care that it's noticeable anymore. That comes down to, yes, their problem is it's only killer side. It's so much killer side. It's like I'd say right now it's 80-20, personally speaking. Oh, they don't. They announced how they want to lower win rates for survivors to less than 20% or something like that, which goes to 80-20. They're pushing so much the agenda of killers being #1, but they're taking the skill out of the game. You need massive skills to be a survivor, and you barely need anything for a killer. Like, barely. Like, literally barely. Like aura perks. I run aura perks on my huntress. Am I a dick? No, I still play as fair as physically possible. I do aerials. I do fun stuff. Do I do 4Ks? Yes. Do I do 2Ks? Yes. Do I do 3Ks? Yes. Have I gone completely skunked? Yes, I have. Depends on the map. Depends on the players. Depends on the perks. But at least it's a challenge when I'm getting... If I face a full Swift team and I get annihilated, I have a challenge now that, okay, I gotta get better. I gotta be better to beat these kinds of people. But if they're making the game so goddamn easy for any killer, that now it's like there's no challenge, and I'm getting bored, and that's why I switched to Survivor, because as a Survivor, I did not know how to loop. I did not know the correct perks, like mechanism based on it. It's like right now I'm running Deception, Head On, Iron Will, and Quick and Quiet. I open the door beside a locker, and then with Quick and Quiet, I go to the second one. He checks the first one. I'm not there. And if he thinks I'm gonna check the second one, I have Head On to bust his chops. And I have Iron Will just in case if I'm injured, at least he won't hear me at that point, right? Head On is used only at that specific moment, not to be toxic, or technically I've actually never tried to use it to serve a survivor, like have a survivor in front of me and then they pick a survivor up and then I open the door. I've never tried that, actually. I always forget to actually do that. But these are like perks you have to have. You have to have perks that, like, this is my healing build and this is my looping build. I had Finesse, Dead Hard, Champion of Light, and Quick Gambit with the update of Champion of Light. Really fucking good. Quick Gambit, while I'm in chase mode, or people in I'm in loop mode being chased, it gives 5% repair bonus to everyone repairing a gen. So if I am in a Swift team, they can repair a gen while I'm just running and running and running and running. It's super easy. And after I'm getting Finesse works. I've been saved by Finesse so many times, and it gives you a 20% boost jumping through vaults. And that saved me a lot from killers that were a little too close, and I was able to get it. But if I do get caught and get hit and I can't use Finesse, because when you are injured you can't use Finesse, I have Dead Hard. Unfortunately they nerfed a little bit, a lot of Dead Hard, but it's still usable. I'm trying to use it more to have Dead Hard play a crucial role in saving my butt. And also, if I use Dead Hard, I keep running, Quick Gambit continues, and continues, and continues, and continues, right? When I do get hit though, Quick Gambit goes on cooldown for 60 seconds. So on that point, it fucks it up, but it still, it gets the people around me to continue to survive as long as physically possible. The skill difference requirement between survivor and killers is actually insane. I 100% agree with you. But that's why their numbers have dropped. Even some partners are quitting. It's sad to see. Yes, there's a lot of Spooky Loops is one of them. There's that was in the partner program and decided not to because apparently being a partner in there, you have to always glaze the fuck out of the game. And unfortunately, I'm not gonna glaze the game if it's not doing well. If the state of the game in big 2025 is not good, I'm not gonna sit there and say the contrary. I'm going to say how it is, and if they don't like it, well, too fucking bad. I'm not part of your damn program. That's if they don't have the perk to pause the wiggle. That's literally what I was about to say. There's 2 perks that makes this extremely hard for survivors. 1, Mad Grit. While carrying a survivor, you suffer no cooldown for missed basic attacks. By the way, Mad Grip was excessively overpowered before because every time you were swinging, it was giving you a speed boost. And you were just gaining on them so goddamn quick. And basic attacks and successful hitting another survivor with a basic attack will pause the carrier's survivor's wiggle time for 4 seconds. That means if you hit a survivor that is trying to block you or something like that, that means the wiggle bar is stalled, so you cannot wiggle free until it starts back up. But then he hits them again, then it stops again. It's like you can go on and on and on. And if you mix Mad Grit with another perk, the other one is Iron Grasp. Effect of survivors struggling are reduced by 75%. So all the wiggles and stuff like that, 75% not there, so you can basically walk in a straight line. Super easy, doesn't even bother the killer anymore. And time to struggle out of your grab is increased by 12%. So that means the timer, instead of 100%, it'll be like you need 112%. So it's even longer to do that. And if you add that plus Mad Grip, that shit takes like a full goddamn minute to finish. Even more. It's ridiculous. Iron Grasp and Mad Grit together is ludicrous. It's stupid good. Unfortunately, you have to be good enough to do other things. You might need Ruin or like any aura perk that helps you at that point. There's only one perk that survivors actually had. I don't know of another first. Please let me know in the comments or in chat if I'm missing any perks right now. But the only perk that survivors had to hide their aura was Distortion. That's it. That's the only thing that blocks aura. So if Distortion was as good as it was before, my aura build for Huntress would be diminished by about 50%. Distortion starts with 1 token, which wasn't a factor in the beginning. It was just there. It was time based, right? If you're in the aura of the killer, the thing went up, so you had that much time to. I think that's how it worked before. When your aura would be red, Distortion activates and consumes a token. For the next 12 seconds, your aura and scratch marks will not be shown to the killer. For each 15 seconds spent in chase, regain 1 token up to 2. You can only gain 2 tokens. That's another thing. You can only gain 2 tokens. So you have to be in chase for 15, not in the aura. You have to be in chase for 15 seconds for that to work. You know the fucked up part about it as well is if you're in a chase and he's doing stuff that shows your aura, your 15 seconds won't do shit because he'll have the 15 seconds to get a token and automatically use it instantly. You can't use it, it auto uses. So they made this perk almost unusable for this meta today. Personally speaking, it's just not good. Especially the fact that it's the only aura blocking perk. So personally speaking, Distortion as a killer Was it a pain in the butt? Yeah, sometimes. But if they're not in my aura, they didn't get the distortion back. They needed to be on the aura to get tokens of distortion, if I'm not mistaken. And now it's, you have to be in chase. So if you're not good whatsoever in a chase or looping, this is completely useless. And sorry, but most survivors are not good at looping. I worked hard to get to a point of being good at looping, but I am not perfect. I still can't do the fucking Michael Jackson and go backwards, and can't do it. I'm gonna try. One day I might be able to do it, but I can't do it. Aura builds are more meta today than they ever will been, because there's no way to physically block aura unless you're like, okay, this guy has ultimate weapon. I was about to look for it, but you can't look for it in here. He has ultimate weapon. So ultimate weapon, you open a locker and you get to see anyone that's close to a locker. So ultimate weapon, when you open a locker, all survivors within 32 meters of the locker scream and reveal the position, then gain blindness. There's this, that's ultimate weapon. There's also another one that is, if you're 8 meters from a locker, your aura is red. Darkness reveal. Darkness reveal, when you search a locker, the auras of all survivors within 8 meters of any locker are revealed to you for 8 seconds. This I use a lot because she literally goes into a locker to reload their hatchets. Then there's Get Ahead. So they're doing gens, they're getting good skill checks. I know where they are. Barbecue, I hook someone. I know where they are within 40 meters from me. Scourge hook. They unhook somebody that's on the scourge hook. I see every other survivor where they are. This can also be changed with Friends Till the End, which is another aura reading perk, and also makes them exposed for a certain amount of time. There's other aura, like aura reading perks. There's Nurse's Calling, Alien Instinct, Awaken Awareness. When it's carrying a survivor, you can see the aura of other survivors within 20 meters. So anyone around you, you can see as soon as you carry them. So there's, like, how the fuck do we have, look, 4 pages of aura style perks. 4 pages. And I don't have all the killers. I literally... there's still killers I don't have that might have more aura perks. They might have more aura perks. We have literally 4 pages as a killer of aura perks that you can use. And it's not aura. When I say aura, I'm not talking about just survivor. There's survivor, there's gens, there's pallets, there's windows. So there's different auras based on different situations, but there's so many aura perks. How the hell do survivors never get caught? They always get caught because there's no way to bypass an aura. And again, if I run an aura perk and instead of, let's say, Friends Till the End, I pick what's it called? Iron Maiden. So they know I have barbecue and chill. Okay, they go in the locker to hide from my barbecue and chill. But then after that, they come out, and my Iron Maiden survivors who exit a locker suffer from exposed status effect for 30 seconds and scream, revealing their location for 4 seconds. So I still know where the fuck they are. It might be after, but I still fucking know. There's nothing that kept me from seeing them except distortion. Yeah, but that's the thing, Willow. I run these things, I run these aura perks, but I'm never a dickbag about it. I'm gonna have them all two hooks, and sometimes I don't even try to follow them or whatever. I just try to do aerials or stuff like that. I I know you're never a dick when you're a killer. I don't try to be. It happens sometimes that they get unhooked. I go a full round of the map, and I meet them out of the blue at a gen, and they're not healed. Sometimes I even let them go. Sometimes I knock them, but I leave because I literally just hooked you. I'm not going to do it again. But if I do another turn and I see you again not healed, at that point you're going on the hook. I don't care. I'm not going to. I'll make you. You'll have one safe haven from me, but I'm not going to skip you every damn time. If you're dumb enough to stay there, you're going on the hook. I'm sorry. But I usually have fun with my Huntress. I try to have fun. I have literal shorts on my YouTube that shows that I'm just having fun. That I'm just doing shots that people don't expect. And then after that, I just show it off. I did a double shot, a aerial and a mid, and both of them landing on the same guy. And that was my first time ever doing a double shot, and that was for me so goddamn satisfying, so fun to see. If I win the game, it's not because I'm toxic, and it's not because I tunneled or not voluntarily, and it's not because I camped the damn hook. I'd rather get a couple extra hits than get one kill on the hook. Oh, I hit. They went to save him. I hit that one with a hatchet. The other person saved him. I throw that hatchet. Oh, I have another hatchet. I throw it. I hit the first guy in front. They're trying to block him. I hit the first guy. They get out. Okay. Then I hit the other. They get out. I still got extra hits when I didn't need to. Yeah, if I downed them and they were, if the survivors themselves were playing dirty, being toxic, teabagging. Again, teabagging is, how the fuck is survivors supposed to tell you they're happy? There's no emotes. There's been the same two emotes that people use is teabagging, which doesn't mean always teabagging in a bad way, and poking. Oh yeah, and it's like the only thing I can do with that is slap. I slap once. It's like, oh, and if you press quick enough, it's like you're slapping them over and over instead of like the full motion. It's like, when are you want people to spend money on survivors? Give them emotes. Give them something to do. There's nothing to do. I'm not talking about chat bubbles for fuck's sakes. Just something they can do. Fucking flip someone off. So I don't know. Something that gives survivors something to do, or a way to talk without talking. Right? I feel like I'm not fucking nuts about this. All right, we are at the last one, the last thing we're gonna talk about in this this ball talk. You know that we have a mending issue. And by mending issue, I mean Legion, specifically, because Legion is the #1 mending person killer that literally it's a mending game. You can have the best healing build in the world, you can have the fastest or the most skillful survivors. This guy can literally find you and find you and find you and find you every damn time. And this is not an aura build. This is a the heartbeat of the survivor. When they hit one, when they go into their frenzy mode, they hit one, then the closest survivor, their heartbeat goes. So yeah, they go chase that one. Then the other, if they hit him, the other survivor, the closest survivor, their heartbeat's gonna go, and it's so on and so on. And he gets it so damn fast. Even after using it, everyone mends. He's got it again. He does it again. He hits people and stuff like that. My issue is we have killers like this, and there's other killers like there is a few killers that play into that kind of gameplay. The other one would be... Of course, I can't see him now. Ah, Deathslinger. Deathslinger, when you shoot someone with your gun and you break free, or he hits you, doesn't matter, one or the other, you become in deep wound, which is basically you have to mend. This killer and Legion are the most annoying little shits in the world when it comes to mending. Not so much Deathslinger, but this is fucking annoying. Ghoul, yes, Luna, that is 100% correct. Ghoul, he has the same thing that he bites you, and you have to mend the bite. It's still mending. It's still like you're in deep wound. You have to get that thing off. Where, oh where are the mending perks? We've had this guy how long? He's almost part of the originals. He's almost part of the originals. It's like, I think he came out not so long after the clown and the spirit and shit like that, right? Where are the perks to what did I write? Mend faster. Anti-mending, meaning anti-mending, not anti-mending, I should say anti-getting deep wound. Anti-deep wound. So you can't be in deep wound. It's just like a safety or somewhere. I don't know how they would install that kind of shit, but would it be used a lot? Probably not. There's not a lot of times mending is an issue. Unless you bring Dead Hard and then you are in deep wound again, or you face the Legion and you're in deep wound every fucking second, or you face a the Deathslinger and you're deep wound half the time, or the Ghoul and then you're still in deep wound. It's fucking annoying. Where are the perks that lets people not get caught by this? Like, have it faster to mend, not being able to get affected by deep wound. I don't know, or anything else that they can come up with. I feel like this is not hard to... It's not hard to figure out. It's like multiple people go in a game with a Legion, they're out. They bot instantly, or they try to play through. It's like I can literally bring my full healing build. I can literally bring my whole healing build with me. This one, no harm, autodidact, botany, and we'll make it. This does not affect mending, so I still have to wait for the mending to be done, then start doing the heals. So it'll affect how much time I have left for we'll make it. It'll affect the time I have to heal, because he's just gonna come back anyways, right? If he hits him, goes away to hit another person, and then I'm the closest one, then the heartbeat's on me, so I can't heal him, or I can barely heal him, and then I get hit instantly. I feel like they should have mend perks, anti deep wound perks, something like that. I feel like that wouldn't be a bad idea. Let me know. That's it for me. That was a good 2 hours of talking. Pretty fucking good. Not bad. A few hitch here and there, and a few words are hard scenarios, but I think we got our points across. So, like, comment, subscribe. Anything you guys want to talk about, any opinions or ideas you guys have, leave it in the comment section below. Follow the Kick, follow the Twitch, subscribe to the YouTube. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Peace.